yeah, whoa. Look, they can never keep me down, I'm going. And if I ever fail, just know I'll go again. I never quit, cause I know that every loss may lead to another win. I'm going up. I bet when I land, they gon' tell me it's luck again. See that I'm winning, it's harder to watch. I'm setting the stage, you should give me my props. You ain't got no soul, you lacking the spirit. You talk out your neck, I'ma show you I'm with it. I would really hate for you to sit and watch me win again and win again and win again. I know it's probably getting old, me and win a synonym. So if I ever win again, just know I did the minimum. I didn't have to sell my soul. Oh, yeah. Please don't play no games with me. It was never about the fame to me. They needed the best, so they came to me. Who the best in this thing? Tell them, yeah, that's me. Tell them who bring the vibe, say, yeah, that's me. Make it bang, ooh, yeah, that's me. Who make the party feel alive, tell them, yeah, that's me. My girl so proud of your boy when they ask, is that your man? Yeah, that's me. And if I'm taking a shot, I don't miss. Who knew I would be at the top like this? And no one made my goals for me, but I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Cause it's the path that God chose for me. So even if some doors close for me, I still won't let y'all close to me. So please step back where you're supposed to be. Put the game all on hold for me. And sit back, watch me roast the beat. It's in my genes, I'm better than them. And I know my flow too sick, I got the medicine. I'm way at the top, who could take my place? I went too hard, can't feel my face. Who the best in this thing? Tell them, yeah, that's me. Tell them who bring the vibe, say, yeah, that's me. Who make it flip, make it bang, ooh, yeah, that's me. Who make the party feel alive, tell them, yeah, that's me. Whoa. Yeah, ooh, yeah, that's me. Who that chillin' at the top? Tell them, yeah, that's me. Yeah, yeah. Tell them, yeah, that's me. Yeah, I'm chillin' at the top. Ooh, yeah, that's me.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, though they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working, I'm up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Yeah, I need it now, told him on the lay. I've been moving, dog, yeah, I'm on the way. I don't hear the talk, don't care what they say. I don't got no patience, I can't ever wait. I've been trying to get it, running up all these digits. And I've been in the gym, I've been up doing minutes. I just put in that work, told them it's surely business. And I see through the face, they all just burning bridges. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Yeah, they don't want it, dog, like I want it, dog. Yeah, they say they want it, then they took the song summer off. I've been going down the list, checking numbers off. I was checking on your numbers, told them something's off. I was at the bottom, now you know I'm climbing. Now they sending deals, they know I ain't signing. They been trying to sell it, they know I ain't buying. When they send a text, dog, I ain't replying. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told them check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drive the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told them check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drive the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, man, we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. You guys got me cracking up in the chat as those goats were absolutely crushing the beats there, spitting some bars. But what is going on, Candle Mafia? Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys for hanging out with us here on this beautiful Tuesday night to do some TA on our favorite thing that we call Bitcoin, trying to figure out where this thing is going to go. Now, if you guys remember to last week's live stream, I was not live yesterday. I had some company, so I was unable to stream last night. But if you guys remember to last week, you will know, obviously, we were looking for that move on Bitcoin to the upside to some very, very key levels of resistance. And we did reach those levels, and we are starting to see a little bit of a pullback. Is this something you should be worried about, or are we simply just getting a small pullback to come down, put in a higher low, and continue to higher prices? We're going to be covering all that on tonight's live stream. Should we be long? Should we be short? I am personally both at the same time, but I want to break down the key levels for you guys and talk about kind of what I'm expecting next here on Bitcoin. We'll look at the bullish case, we'll look at the bearish case, and then we'll look at the worst case scenario, and I'll kind of let you guys know which way I'm leaning, what I'm expecting here over the next week. Now, obviously, we do have the Bitcoin conference out in Nashville this week, guys. so my live stream schedule may be a little bit off this week. I'm going to try to get updates out there, try to live stream if I can, but I don't know exactly what we're doing. I'm going to be out there hanging out with Tom Crown or anybody else out there. I don't know if we're going to be able to get those streams, but I will obviously keep you guys updated, as you all know, but it just might be a little bit off schedule week for us as we will be traveling, so on and so forth. So with all that being said, guys, don't forget to smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get gives you guys some extra chances to win some free crypto on Friday night's live stream, which, again, may or may not be at that time. But, yeah, if you guys smash that like button, we're going to be going for 550 likes tonight. If we get 550 likes, we will mark down for the next giveaway that I will be giving away $100 in XRP to one lucky CandleMafia member, as well as the regular 10 crypto giveaways we do. But smash up that like button. And shout out to Golden. Let's go. Shout out to Golden starting off the stream strong here with those 50 Frankie Candles memberships. I don't think there's any gray names in the chat anymore, or at least very, very few. Shout out to Golden, said he was running red lights to get there, to get to his 55-bedroom mansion before the live stream started. So shout out to Golden, bro. Thank you so much for all the support you give the channel and all those green names you give to the Candle Mafia. But before we jump into it, guys, let's go ahead and shout out some of the Mafia members in here right now. Let's see. We got K Diggity, huge fan of the goats. Shout out to K Diggity. What is going on? We got Food for Bitcoin. We got Reapers, shout out to Reapers Creepers, says, I'm Gray. Well, stick around here and make sure your gifting settings are activated in YouTube or on YouTube, and you should be able to get some memberships next time they're gifted, which is quite often on this YouTube channel. So shout out to you. Shout out to French Toaster, B-Rad Crypto, Crypto Pollo. We got Rob the Crypto Stomp, Crypto Billy, Crypto A9. You guys know the mods. Show them some love in the chat. We got Crypto Infinity checking in. Coin Hoover, what is going on? Mike Vito, my paisan, what is going on, brother? Jay Gilly in the chat. What is up, bro? We got Sean. We got Mr. Ethereum. Speaking of Ethereum, we're gonna show ETH tonight, guys. And shout out to last but not least, shout out to Gen Z. Says shout out to Frankie for being the best GOAT. Shout out to Gen Z. Yeah, as you guys know, I am actually a physical goat. I've just taken the form of a human to the moon. Shout out to Bitfrog, and shout out to Joe Mama. And I'm not trying to be offensive. That's his name, Joe Mama. But with all that being said, guys, oh, there it is. Shout out to Frankie Candles, or Tony D on the Frankie Candles account, dropping the Bruce Buffer emoji. Let's go. It's time, baby. Let's go. So if you got those green names, you can now use that Bruce Buffer emoji. Let's get it. Shout out to Tony D. I literally asked him to do that 30 seconds ago. So if you don't have a Tony D yet, go ahead and get yourself a Tony D. But with all that being said, oh, Mrs. Candles in the chat. What the heck is going on, guys? Mrs. Hi, babe. Love you. We're just, we're working here. We're not messing around. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. Rare appearance. Drop those Mrs. Candles hands and those Bruce Buffer emojis in the chat. Let's go. Oh, God, the hands. It's the hands versus the Bruce Buffers in the chat right now. But, guys, with all that being said, shout out to Mrs. Candles. We got to get to work or she's going to be like, hey, I got to get my nails done. Get back to work. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and jump on in here to the charts and try to figure out what Bitcoin is going to do next. Let's get into it. So here we are. Yo, the Franklin emojis, bro. The emojis are crazy on this channel, yo. The emojis are ridiculous. But let's go ahead and jump in here, guys. Now, as you know, Bitcoin has gotten, obviously, this big move to the upside. This is old news at this point. But as you guys know, last week we were looking at some very, very key levels to the upside. More specifically, this purple box that we were looking at on the live stream as our next very, very, very important level of resistance. And not only were we looking at that level of resistance, guys, but we were also looking at some potential signals or kind of setups for a potential short position or just a potential rejection at this key level. Now, obviously, this does sit at the POC of the macro range here. Now, before we jump too far into it, I don't want anyone getting scared. Just because we came up to this level and we're getting a rejection does not necessarily mean that we're just going to dump down to much lower prices. But, you know, even if we are going to continue up here, it was obviously very likely, I don't want to say obviously, but it was very likely to get a little bit of a rejection from this key resistance zone, being that it is the point of control of the range here as well. Kind of adding that extra sauce to this level, guys, was the fact that it was the 786 Fibonacci retracement from the absolute tippy top here, when you pull your fib from the tippy top here all the way to the low. That is where your 786 comes in. And as we all know, typically when we are looking for lower highs or higher lows to come in within a trend, oftentimes the rejections do come in between this golden pocket and 786 Fibonacci zone, right? So if you have let me grab my brush tool here, right? So if you are looking, let's say you have a little bit of a downtrend, and then price starts to bounce, right? And you are looking at, and you're expecting this downtrend to continue, the highest probability area to put that lower high in is when you pull your fib from the high to the low, or at least in my opinion, right? I'm sure you can obviously reject other areas, but if you pull your fib like this, this key zone here, I'll spit a little educational sauce here to kind of start off the stream. This kind of 786 golden pocket Fibonacci zone is oftentimes where I look for those lower highs to come in, and if you watch the channel, you guys will know this, and oftentimes you do see the lower highs come in, to continue that downtrend, oftentimes come in at this zone. Now, when you combine a 786 golden pocket with that POC of the range, kind of gives it a little bit of an extra kind of zest. Shout out to Randy. Gives you a little bit of extra sauce on that level of resistance, right? So if we come back over here to the actual live chart, you guys can see we have that 786 in beautiful confluence with that POC, which is why we were looking for that rejection. Now, another specific thing that we were looking at for this potential pullback at this level, guys, and we talked about this on the live stream, giving a little bit of a freebie here, but we did wind up getting some 4-hour bearish divergences, and if you guys remember, we even drew this out as we were on our way up, saying I did expect to get this high taken into this key level of resistance, and if we were able to do that, we were looking at market cipher B as it was set up to potentially put in that bearish divergence, and price came right up, took that high into the key level of resistance, and gave us that 4-hour bear div, and we are now starting to see a little bit of a pullback. Now, like I said, guys, this doesn't necessarily indicate that we're absolutely going to dump down to lower prices, but obviously we want to be aware of these things as we can make money off of these little retracements. Even if we were to bounce here, there's plenty of a move here to make money off of, right? And shout out to the premium Discord. I was at the Braves game this weekend. As I said, I had company. We took them out to the Braves game, and I just couldn't stay off the phone. I think we're dropping a tweet of me literally updating the Discord at the Braves game, literally letting them know what I was seeing on the charts for this rejection. So shout out to the premium Discord. Any of you guys were able to take that trade alongside me are in profit at this point. Now, again, kind of bringing this to the current kind of state of Bitcoin, are we likely to see a much bigger pullback? Are we going to get to the value area high? Are we going to see all-time highs? What is going to happen next, guys? And that's what I want to break down next. Now, on top of this 4-hour bear div, guys, we also did have the VWAP. We looked at this last week as well. The VWAP on the daily was starting to come to the downside, potentially looking to print that red dot. And now we see that red dot here on the chart. And what happens? Bitcoin takes a little bit of a pullback. Now, obviously, the green and red dots always indicate the ebbs and flows in the market and not necessarily big, gigantic trends. For the bigger long-term trends, guys, we like to take a look at the money flow. So as this stands, as we do have the 16 and 12-hour money flow crossing into the green here, this would indicate to me that I am going to be, right, obviously we have a pretty strong uptrend here, obviously making higher highs and higher lows, but just in general, with this money flow crossover into the green, this would make me think that at least in terms of these time frames, that the uptrend may be able to continue higher. And as long as we remain inside of this value area, I am going to be using this as context to where price is likely to go next, right? We flip that value area low to support, and then we got to move up to that POC, which is the next likely place for price to go. And then once we can decisively get above that POC, and more importantly, this 786 Fibonacci level, we can look for that value area high to come in at about $71,400. And then once we start breaking out of there, we could potentially start talking about new all-time highs. And as long as we remain inside of this value area, I'm going to be using this as context to where I am thinking, as context into where price will go next. I don't know why I couldn't get that out of my mouth. But again, this money flow does still look potentially good here as it is still in the green, but we knew with that red dot incoming, we were likely to get some kind of a pullback, but we can still be looking for higher lows and continuations to the upside. Again, money flow on the 12 and 16 hour, as well as just the fact that we are not only just putting in higher lows and higher highs, but oftentimes, guys, when you see your value areas, when we look at these sideways ranges, this is price building value, right? And when you have value just continuing to trend higher, right? It's kind of like a more advanced way to look at higher highs and higher lows. But as you can see, like, we are clearly, right, we find some balance down here. We get imbalance to the upside. We build some more value. We get another imbalance to the upside. This is bullish, right, overall, at least within the local trend, right? Now, come on. Let me get this up. Come on. Disappear. There we go. As of right now, guys, where do I think we can go from here? Now, if we do wind up continuing a pull to the downside, your next major key level of resistance, support, is going to be down here. We're kind of pretty close to it at this point, but it is coming down here. We do have a weekly naked point of control at about $65,068. And if I can go ahead and pull up exo charts here real quick, just so I can double check. Let me see if I can go ahead and pull. Oh my God, why does this always happen? Let me see if I can pull up those actual weekly naked points of controls. There you go. Right here, sitting at about 64.5 is that actual weekly naked point of control that I am paying attention to. So I'm glad I checked this. $64,500. Let's see here. Bada boom. That is lower. Let me pull up this other chart real quick. Okay, yeah, so let me actually take a look at this. Let me pull up the 30-minute time frame. So this is kind of what I'm looking at, guys. Let me hide this line. So if we do continue this drop, we always talk about price. We were talking about this recently last week and the week before, talking about the idea or the auction market theory, right, where price builds value and then gets imbalanced and hunts out a previous area of balance. And if we do continue this imbalance, and we are going to continue down, guys, very likely we are going to target this local volume profile sitting just below us with the value area high and POC sitting between about $64,800 and $65,000, which again is confluent with that $65,000 weekly naked point of control, which is pulled from TradingView, I believe. But then we have this exo chart naked point of control sitting at 64.5, making this whole area a decent level of support. So the next place I will be willing to be looking for longs, right? Not necessarily coming down here and just taking a long as we tap the level. We have to analyze price to see what happens at these levels. Is this somewhere we want to actually enter a trade? We have to have those entry triggers fire before we actually take that shot. So this is going to be kind of the next. This is what I'm looking at kind of in the local term, right? Or the short term. If we continue down, very clear support down here with that weekly naked point of control. If we lose that weekly naked point of control, in my opinion, we're probably going to get accepted back into this range, potentially bing bong around. And that's kind of what I'm looking for in the short term if we are able to continue out here. Because if we pull up Market Cipher real quick here, you guys can see we actually do have some money flow coming out on time frames such as the 2 hour, right? If that 2 hour money flow crosses over into the red, you may be able to continue that 2 hour trend to the downside, making this our next key level of, or a key area of interest. Now, obviously not going to talk about the confirmations I'm going to be looking for here as we look more at that in the premium Discord, but this is definitely going to be the major support level. You can see this is supported by some high volume nodes here as well, so you do want to see price come down into that nice high volume area, and if we can get some confirmations, I will be looking for a long there to potentially put in that higher low and continue our move simply up through the larger volume profile and see if we can get that move all the way up to the value area high and beyond. Now, if we see a bigger pullback, if we see some kind of news come out, and we are going to get a stronger or harsher rejection out of this, off of this PLC 786 retracement level, this is the real key level, right? To be quite honest with you guys, even if we were to break back down out of this volume profile, I'm not necessarily automatically looking for that lower support level that we have had on the chart for quite some time, between 51 and 52K. I'm not necessarily automatically looking down there because we do have some nice support levels just below, closer to about, between $60,000 and $58,000. Now, there's a few reasons I'm actually looking at these levels. Number one, if we pull our full Fibonacci retracement from the low all the way to the high here, you can see we have some nice confluence here on that golden pocket daily naked point of control. And then obviously we do have that daily naked point of control just above, sitting at about $60,050. And then underneath that, you have the golden pocket daily MPOC confluence. And then your 786 is getting pretty close down there as well, sitting at 56,437. If we pull our local volume profile, let me go ahead and go down to a little bit of a lower time frame, pull that local volume profile, you guys can see that all these levels are confluent with that profile, right? So I'll go ahead and mark this out with a nice white box. Bada boom, right? So if we did come down there, we could potentially look for a higher low to come in on that golden pocket. I would really not love to come down to the 786, but this would also be another level I would be paying attention to as you guys know, right, when we look at these volume profiles, like we are simply just trading price inside these volume profiles till we get the break to the upside. Oftentimes, when you get that breakout, whether it's to the upside or to the downside, very often we are in positions from the opposite end of the range. This is why I love trading the volume profiles. And it winds up working very, very well. So if we were to get a big pullback here, lose this macro value area low, this would be another kind of key area a little bit lower that I would be willing to pay attention to potentially put in a higher time frame, higher low to continue to the upside. And then if we break down below there, right, we can use this volume profile as context, right? Looking for shorts at the highs, longs at the lows. You might get some more local day trading action down here. But for the most part, this is kind of far away. But I want you guys, especially if, the live streams and the market updates might be a little bit spotty this week because of the conference. I do want you guys to all have these levels on your chart in case I'm out there with Crypto Billy somewhere and we're having we're walking around talking to people and then price decides to dump and we have no idea. I want you guys to have these levels on your chart so you're prepared whether the price goes up or down, right? So that's kind of the worst case scenario in my opinion if we are going to continue up. Very, very key levels down here. A lot of confluence as well. But locally, remember, we have these kind of lower time frame levels down here between about 65 and 63.5. So there we go, right? Kind of the short-term price action and then the longer-term price action. If the dump continues, we could see price come down here potentially, right? But again, until we're out of this upper range, guys, there is no reason to be looking down here. Again, but I just want you guys to have these levels on your chart so you're prepared, so you're not, sitting on the charts with no candle to light the way. All right, let's see. Shout out to K-Man, said 29 likes. Oh, my gosh, that's brutal. Yeah, 29 likes. Smash that like button, guys. Every 100 likes we get gives you guys literally free money. Shout out to you guys. We're the only channel that pays you to hit the like button every single week. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Mark Dutch. Said, you're going to teach him how to drink beer, Billy? Shout out to Mark Dutch. But yeah, guys, that is what I'm looking at here on the Bitcoin chart. Now, obviously, this daily red dot could potentially continue to bring us down here. VWAP also curving down here on the 2-day, right? Also, money flow. We talked about this potentially happening last week. With that money flow coming to the downside here, if that red dot prints, we can potentially see this money flow come a little bit deeper. And although I don't want to be right about this, I would much rather higher prices here, to be quite honest with you guys, and I do think it is definitely possible. But remember, 2-day and 3-day money flow also still in somewhat of a shady position here. Now, we talk about this almost every single day. With where we are in the cycle, it's not necessarily very common to see high time frame money flow like the 2 or 3 day just dump down into the red and give us a massive correction with where we are in the 4-year cycle. But when we look at the charts, this is just binary information that we're looking at, and this money flow is factually, right, it's not my opinion, this money flow is coming out with the VWAP coming down, and especially on the 2-day, we talked about this the other day. If that red dot prints, it could easily pull that money flow back into the red, which is why we still have this support level down here at 51 to 52K in case things get really, really aggressive. And we got to dump out of nowhere. I would think we probably would need some kind of news for that. Again, I would think right now I am looking up. The local trend is to the upside, right? So we're going to continue looking up to higher prices. But we cannot sleep on that longer time frame analysis with the money flow coming out here on the 2 and 3 day. Just keeping a close eye on it. But hopefully we don't have to worry about that and it just comes back up into the green and we can look for higher prices. But that's what I'm looking at, guys. Nice and kind of clear, concise TA there. We have the 2 local ranges that I'm looking at, again, right here. And then we also have the kind of higher term targets or the higher time frame targets if we get that bigger drop to the downside. Shout out to Kalichi, said, please share your chart with us. Shout out to Kalichi. I am making a new chart. That's kind of what this is. So I am kind of tweaking the charts here. Kalichi, I will share it in the Kalichi's in the premium Discord. I will share it in the premium as soon as I am done with it. So you guys can have the most accurate levels. Let's see. Shout out to Blockchain Domain. Says 1 beer in, and I'm going to tell you guys how much I love you. Shout out to Blockchain. I am somewhat similar to that. But let's go ahead and continue on here. Let's see. That drunk love hit different. Shout out to Mr. Wickles. All right, let's see. All right, so if you guys want to see your favorite altcoins, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Rob the Crypto Snob will count up the votes and let us know what we're looking at. And while we are waiting for that, guys, I will go ahead and I will check out. Shout out to Astro Zombie with the Bruce Buffer emoji. Shout out to Fairground, said, hit that like button, you legends. Let's go. Shout out to Fairground. I appreciate you, bro. Smash that like button. Can we take a look at Tron? I have not taken a look at Tron in quite some time, but I will go ahead and make a note there for you. That was a love note that Mrs. Candles left on my computer. I don't want to draw on that. But let's see. Okay, so Tron, I'll take a look at Tron and then just drop those altcoins in the chat and Rob the CryptoStop account with the votes and let us know what we're looking at. And while we're doing that, guys, I will go ahead and jump in on Ethereum, which is kind of in a similar situation as Bitcoin. Now, as you guys know, we were looking at our key level of resistance on ETH being that kind of $3,500 level where we had the golden pocket retracement in line with our POC of the range. Now, I will say, not that this is the cleanest like head and shoulders. It does kind of look like head and shouldery to me. But, you know, I don't know. It's kind of wonked out, and I'm not a big pattern trader, so take that for what it's worth. But I will say this, right? We came up to that key level, and we're kind of just consolidating under it, which could potentially yeah, I mean, we got the rejection from about 35.50, and we're kind of just ranging around here. So that is kind of nice. Let me pull up a clean ETH chart real quick for you guys. You know, we could easily look at this as a volume profile if we go ahead and pull that, right? Nice, clean range, looking for shorts at the highs, longs at the lows. This short would have been, you would have had to take profit on that pretty quickly, but it did wind up getting to that value area low. But we could look at this with your local value area low between at about $3,500, and then your, value area high at $3,500, and then your value area low sitting at about $3,400, right? So you have a nice $100 range that we are respecting pretty well. If we pull up Market Cipher here really, really quickly, bada boom, pull up the daily time frame. And you guys can see, okay, so daily red dot is confirmed here on ETH already. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Red dot confirmed here on ETH. 2-day red dot still coming down. Looking very similar as far as Market Cipher goes. Looking very similar to Bitcoin other than the fact that this 2-day money flow actually did come back up into the green, which is interesting. But as it stands right now, guys, I will say, let's go back to our other ETH chart here. You know, this is definitely the range that I am watching, right? You know, macro value area is sitting here between 3,200 and about 3,920. Almost up to that $4,000 level, but we do have it. That is kind of the local range that I will be looking at. And as we all know, once you get above that value area low, you're going to look for price to go to the POC, which did happen. You do typically spend some time at that POC. You kind of cling to it. We actually had a nice short in the premium. I took it on ETH. Everyone else took it on Bitcoin, but I personally took it here on ETH from 3,800 all the way back down to the value area low of the range. But you could see once we got to that POC, you know, price kind of just stuck to it. As that POC is the area where the most price action or the most volume was traded, making it act like a magnet. So it does get a little choppy there at the POC, as you guys can see kind of here. But if we flip that POC golden pocket, I will be looking up towards that 786 at $3,700. Flip that 786, we can then look up to the value area high, up to about, you know, $3,950, around $4,000, right? So that's kind of the situation on Ethereum. If we do come back down, you do have some nice confluence here with your value area low and this spider line coming up diagonally here. So if we do cool off a little bit, you know, you could look down here as that key level of support. I'll change this blue for support. So that is going to be kind of the major level of support. If you lose this, probably coming down closer to these MPOCs that we have down here. Almost exactly the same as Bitcoin, right? Very similar. Just getting rejections at the POC. The nice thing is, as long as you remain above that value area low, we could potentially just look for a full rotation of that range. And honestly, with the red dot here already confirmed on Ethereum, and actually, it's kind of hard to say, but I kind of like that better, right? Because it's like, you know, this has been confirmed, right? So we just didn't really get that, was unable to push price down a good bit there, right? So those are the levels I'm looking at, and then locally you could look at this volume profile that we just pulled on the other ETH chart. But other than that, looking very similar to Bitcoin. Yeah, weekly VWAP kind of flat there, money flow kind of coming up. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad, right? And I'll be honest with you guys, on the Bitcoin chart here, you know, the only thing that really is pointing to the downside is the 2- and 3-day money flow, which we know could be likely to fake out. If it weren't for that, I'd kind of just be like pretty strongly looking for higher prices. So keep that in mind. But that's what I would be looking at on Ethereum for now. Let's see. Bada boom. All coin votes are in and being counted. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. I appreciate you, bro. Let's see. Yo, shout out to DJ. I'm pinning that, bro. And, I don't really love kind of shilling our products or, any of our stuff. I don't really love shilling stuff, but I'd rather have the Mafia shill it for me. Shout out to DJ said, "What's up, Mafia? Just joined the premium. I made my money back on my first trade. Love you, Mafia." Shout out to DJ. Let's go. Congrats to you. We're going to throw some money for you there. Let's go. Congrats for paying for your premium in one trade. And just remember, you did it. I just gave the information. You did the hard part, which is taking and managing the trade. And more importantly, taking that money off the table when you're in the green. So shout out to DJ. Congratulations, bro. I appreciate you. Get it. Oh, no. OBS is reconnecting. That's not good. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Okay. Let's go ahead, and I see some bullish divergences on the small time frames for Chainlink. Yes, so I am in a small scalp long here. It is just about at break even on Bitcoin, not on Chainlink, but probably very similar situation that you're seeing there. This was taken based off of low time frame bullish divergences here. As you can see, we deviate below that local value area low as we have those lower lows on price action, higher lows on our momentum waves. We do have some bullish divergences forming here, which could potentially give us a pushback to the upside. So I am in a small, I am technically long and short at the same time right now. Very small kind of scalp day trade here on the long position. Very, very low risk. And my short is now already pretty good in profit here. So also on a smaller account, I was talking to the premium Discord about this yesterday, saying that we are, I'm trying to consolidate accounts and refund new accounts. So I'm kind of in an area where I'm kind of moving money around. But let me go ahead and see if I can pull up this short. So here you go. Yeah, this was taken on a small, my small Blowfin account, up about 30% here. And did I say on ETH? Obviously on Bitcoin, about a $17,000 position. Yeah, up about 30%, up $274 right now. But if we are able, I am going to be holding this, and if we are able to continue down, that will continue to pay me out. Because if we do get a push to the upside here, guys, I am going to be looking at it as a little bit shorter term, right? I would really like to see some lower prices coming here on Bitcoin. Now, not like scary lower prices, but I would kind of like to see those lower targets hit, right? This value area high POC, basically this lower volume profile. I would rather see price come down there because not only do we have the daily red dot printing, we also have the 2-day VWAP coming down, as well as that 2-hour money flow, which could potentially continue that push to the downside. But as we know, price moves up and down even when it's trending. So we could anticipate that retracement to the upside. So why not capitalize on that move to try to make a little bit of extra money? So there you go. And shout out to Blowfin. There's no way we can't figure out if we have any spots left on the for the deposit bonuses, but we do have that deal going with Blowfin. There was only 100 spots left. I don't know if they are all taken, but if you guys are looking for a place to trade in the U.S., Blowfin is definitely the spot to be. So check them out, and if you use our link, if there are spots available, you will potentially get some deposit bonuses or save on your fees. So shout out to Tony D for working that out. Let's see, bada boom. BTC short, I am on 20x leverage. Shout out to Blind Wanderer. Shout out to Blind Wanderer. Yeah, it's 20x. So yeah, it's pull it back up here. My margin, where's my margin? Yeah, so $886 is my margin for a $17,000 position on 20x leverage, up almost $300. So there you go. Nice little small trade there for you guys. And let's see, bada boom. Yeah, shout out to Coin Watcher, said, if the Mafia is meeting up in Nashville, can y'all let me know, please? Shout out to Coin Watcher. Yeah, we don't have anything official set, Mafia members will obviously let you know. We don't personally have anything set up, but we will be at the actual conference. So if you see us, please come up and say hi. I would love to put some faces to the names here in the live chat. It's literally my favorite part of the job. Like things like what DJ just said when I pinned his chat, making his money back in the premium Discord. This stuff literally makes my life to hear that we're able to help people make money trading Bitcoin, whether the price is going up or down. But being able to see you guys in real life, there's just nothing like it. So yeah, shout out to Crypto Billy. We'll be there as well. So yeah, if you guys see us, please do not hesitate to come up and say hi to us. We absolutely love it. So let's see, bada boom, bada bing. Yeah, shout out to Great Heathen says, are you still using Zeta Markets? If so, how do you like it? Shout out to Great Heathen. I am using I do use Zeta Markets. I haven't traded on that account in a little while just because what I said before, I have so many accounts. It kind of got a little out of hand, and I need to consolidate them because I started to find it got out of control, and I was starting to get like into trades that I didn't know were open. And it got a little dicey, so I'm kind of trying to consolidate those actual accounts. However, I like Zeta Markets, right? The only thing about Zeta Markets, if you noticed, somebody mentioned this in the premium Discord, like anytime you enter a position, you do wind up in the red pretty good at first on fees, but if you're taking good trades, it's pretty negligible if you're taking good trades and you're managing your risk. Like if you're profitable, it's not going to like ruin your profitability or anything. But for a newer trader, I will say it might be a little frustrating to see yourself enter a trade and instantly be down, $20 or whatever it is. Kind of feels like you're fighting against the current. But other than that, I absolutely love Zeta Markets. The one thing I love about them is the user interface is absolutely beautiful. Like the P&L looks beautiful. It's so easy to read. Everything is super cool. And I was basically using that for an airdrop, but I actually wound up really liking the exchange. So if you're looking for a decentralized leverage exchange, definitely check out Zeta Markets. I don't have an affiliate link with them. I probably should, but I don't. But check them out. Go to Zeta Markets. Search Zeta Markets. You can connect your wallet, so it's nice and secure rather than just holding all your money on the actual exchange. So let's go ahead and continue on here, guys. That was what I was looking for on ETH. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. There are those altcoins. Let's go ahead and pin them to the top of the chat. Shout out to Masnoka said, Frankie, do you think this is a higher low or are we going back to 58K to fill the CME gap? Thank you for bringing that up, Masnokas, because that is something I did not bring up when I looked at that, right? Another reason why I am potentially looking for this. Now, I want to be clear. Not calling for it, right? I'm not saying we are going down here because of this, but a reason why this is going to be an important area of interest for me is not only do you have the naked value area here in line with the golden pocket and daily naked point of control. It's a pretty nice confluent level. Now, not only do we have that, but we also have that CME gap down there. If we pull up the CME gap indicator, I don't have any affiliation with these guys either, but if you just type in CME on your indicators tab, CME gap by Anchi 1991. It actually marks out those CME gaps, right? So you do have a CME gap down there as well. So just another reason that if we do go down there, why that is going to be a pretty saucy level to watch in my own personal opinion, right? That's if, right? If we break down here and go lower, then that is where I'm going to be looking at. But again, as long as we're able to maintain above this value area low and within this range, I am going to be looking and just using this as a typical volume profile, which would be to eventually flip that POC and see that value area high come in. So it's an if this, then that statement, as trading always is. And let me change this box to blue real quick because that is not resistance now. That is support. All right, so let's go ahead and continue on here. Let's take a quick look at, let's see. Shout out to Mark Dutch, said, Frankie bought gummy. Actually do not own any gummy. I have no problem being transparent with what I hold. I would never tell you to buy or sell anything, but I'm always happy to share with you guys what I'm doing, right? But I don't hold any gummy. I feel like I probably will regret that at some point. Maybe I'll pick some up. But let's see. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Yo, shout out to Masnoka, said, you have my word. We're going to fill that CME gap because you could fit a jet through it. Yes, it's a pretty big gap. I'm not going to lie. Shout out to Masnokas. But we will see. If we do get that, that will it's definitely confluent with these key levels. I'll tell you that much. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Keith, says, Frankie, you always sound so apologetic when you're being bearish. You shouldn't have to be sorry if you think the markets are going lower. People need to realize markets go up and down. Anyway, love ya. Shout out to Keith. Yeah, people hate when you say the market is going down. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, it's like nobody ever wants to hear that. But simply put, I am just here bringing that information that I'm seeing on the chart to you guys. So call up TradingView. Complain to them, guys. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here. Let's take a quick look at, yeah, shout out to, good. I love that. Shout out to Amaris says each bull run always has at least one CME gap that doesn't get filled. Yeah, no guarantees that we fill a CME gap. Not that I think Masno, because I don't think you think that they all get filled or anything. But yeah, a lot of people do think that like if you have a CME gap, it must get filled. It's not the case. There are unfilled naked CME gaps all over the place, right? It's not guaranteed. It is more likely than not, but definitely not a guarantee. But that is a pretty juicy one down there. Not gonna lie. But let's go ahead and continue on here. I'm gonna take a quick look at Tron, and then we'll jump into the alt list. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Take a look at Tron on. Let's see. All right, we'll just take a look at the Binance perpetuals. Okay, so here we are. All right, so this, let's pull up the weekly here. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, so weekly VWAP is coming down, right? So on the higher time frames, if we get that red dot, could see a little bit of a pullback there. Let's check that monthly green dot printing. So that would be good long term. So yeah, I'll be honest with you guys, right? Like checking that 16 and 12 hour, actually looking a lot different than everything else. On your 12 and 16 hour, your money flow is actually starting to come out here as you spent a lot of time in the red, as you've gotten a pretty big rally here. Take a look at the 8 hour money flow coming out. Interesting. 4 hour money flow in the red. Yeah, very interesting because a lot of these other altcoins, right, on the 12 and 16 hour are primed to come back up into the green, right? So, you know, and I mean a lot, right? Like Neutron it's back in the red, but you started getting that crossover into the green. Matic crossing over into the green. Ren in the green. Casper in the green, VWAP rolling back up. Atom is starting to come out a little bit, but it is technically in the green. So, you know, whether these come back up into a big green wave is another argument, right? But one thing is for sure, and that is that Tron is looking a lot different, right? Because, oh, wait, is that the, hang on. Okay, yeah. So the 12 and 16 hour, okay, I got tripped up. I was like, what the heck was that not just coming out? Let's come back to Tron there, go to the 16 hour. Yeah, so this is looking a lot different than all the other alts. But let's go ahead and grab some key levels here. So let's pull up a lower time frame. I'm going to take a look at the 30-minute chart here real quick. So this is interesting, right? Like, I don't typically pull ranges like this, but you definitely have some balance here. You just rejected that POC of this previous range, like, perfectly. If I go ahead and mark that out for you guys. Yeah, like, you came up, kissed that MPOC. 30-minute money flow is coming up, right? But yeah, you just tapped that POC. I don't know. You may pull back here potentially. And again, like, this is not a beautiful situation because, like, this is not really a pretty range. As you can see, it's been pretty disrespected to the upside and then the downside. But it always comes back to that area of value, right? And it's just a testament to anytime you see imbalance in the market, and then, you know, price is going to hunt out that next area of balance, which is right here. Imbalance to the downside, you start coming up. Where's price likely to go? Right back into that balance, right? But for the most part here, like, I wouldn't necessarily be looking to trade this. This is kind of the only tangible local range that I can see, though. Yeah, kind of a wonked out chart, if I'm being quite honest with you. Let me see if I pull this kind of whole... Let's pull this whole thing. Yeah, this is, it's not the prettiest range. I'm not going to lie. But it is kind of the only range that we have, right? So whether you look at it with that small range context or you look at this overall as your volume profile, this is kind of what I would look at here. You have your value area high. You have your POC. Let me go ahead and lock that tool. You have your POC right here, which you did just reject almost to the penny. And then you have the value area low here, right? So this is kind of the only area of balance that I can see that you're probably going to respect. So as of right now, you are residing within this area of balance. So, you know, technically you rejected the POC, but if you are going to continue up, that value area high is going to be your next level. And your key level of support is going to be the value area low sitting at about 13 cents. You know, 30-minute money flow is coming up into the green, right? See that? Yeah, 8-hour green dot printing, right? But with the higher time frame money flow, 8-hour money flow is coming out. This would indicate that the overall trend on this higher time frame could continue lower. But in the short term, with this green dot printing on the 8-hour and the 30-minute money flow crossover into the green, locally you might be able to continue up. But I would be a bit careful here because of that money flow on the higher time frames. You know, I would be anticipating, based off that 8-hour money flow, that green dot that you're getting here is going to be a likely ebb to the upside to potentially put in a lower high and continue the 8-hour trend to the downside if that money flow continues out, right? So it doesn't mean you can't come up, but it just means that if you come up, you better be looking at it in the context of a potential lower high because that higher time frame money flow is coming out, just like we typically look at when we're using the volume profiles. So, the money flow. So, yeah, and then your golden pocket confluence here, bada boom. This is actually pretty confluent here. Let's see, shorts, bada boom, right? So level number 1, and then you could look at that 786 kind of as your next key level of resistance. And to be quite honest with you, if you break that 786 and you hold above it, you may be able to go higher. That's kind of the area of invalidation for a potential lower high to come in. Once you break that 786, probably going to continue the uptrend. If you reject it, could be a likely lower high. So there you go. That is kind of what I'd be looking at on Tron. Yeah, VWAP pretty deep below that 0 line. Money flow coming up. Interesting. It's a little kind of mixed here on Tron, to be quite honest with you. But it is one altcoin that looks a lot different than everything else. 4-day red dot, 5-day red dot. Yeah. So I'd probably stick with the original sentiment. So that is kind of what I would be looking at for Tron or TRX, as some people like to call it. All right, let's see. Oh, shout out to Crypto Billy, said Jimmy Void, my paisan, is going to be at the conference, Frankie. Shout out to Jimmy Void, or Jimmy Two Shoes, as we like to call him. Shout out to you, bro. Hopefully we get to see you and hang out with you a little bit at the conference. And shout out to the Bing Bong T-shirts, guys. We will be giving away some of these T-shirts at the conference. So shout out to the Bing Bong T-shirts. Can't really see it. There you go. I don't know what sizes we have. I think there are a lot of big sizes. But yeah. And we will have hats as well. We will be giving away hats to Mafia members as well. So, all right, let's go ahead and continue on here. Audio is kind of low. Shout out to shout out to Elite Ways EZ. Says audio is fine. So shout out to Elite Ways. It looks fine on my end, so I'm gonna go with that. Let's see, bada boom. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Okay, let's go ahead and check it out. Shout out to Elite Ways EZ. Said, I'm here for fire sauce. Smoking fire, waiting for BTC to go. It's looking for BTC to go higher with altcoins who have to follow. Shout out to Elite Ways EZ. I will see you on Pluto, my friend. All right, let's see. Audio is goated. Shout out to Gen Z. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Let's check out our Solana is next on the list here. Let's go ahead and check it out. All right, well, where are we here, guys? And this is, I love that this is playing out here, right? So as you guys know, on Solana, what we've been looking for is this blue box, which is the key level of support, to be held, right? As long as we were able to hold that blue box of support, we were anticipating a move up to this golden pocket where we got a small pullback. And then if we were to continue up, we were going to look to come into this volume profile. And I'm actually going to, we have that weekly naked point of control here. I'm going to get rid of this purple box because it has now already acted as resistance. We've gotten the rejection. And we are now potentially looking to get accepted back into this range. But one thing I want you guys to understand here is, why we were looking for this to happen, right? We knew that if we held above that POC and value area low, which together being so close to each other was kind of the major zone that we had to remain above to see that, move to the upside here, right? Because once you're above that POC, especially when it's down here, the next likely place for price to go is low key the value area high, right? Because you're already above that POC, right? The only other place to go is going to be that value area high. But we knew that we had this local volume profile within the smaller time frames sitting right here, which would likely give us some turbulence, right? So we came, hit our head, got back in, and then we wound up deviating a little bit. We hit that weekly naked point of control and lost it. So if we do continue down here, we could potentially start to respect this range that we have here, sitting between about, we'll call it 163.91 and 173.76, right? So you just have your nice volume profile there. But to be quite honest with you guys, like this is our journey potentially to that value area high. As long as we don't get any surprise crazy dumps coming in, we could potentially kind of bing bong around. But once you get that breakout, the next target is going to be that daily naked point of control / value area high sitting at about $200. So there you go. Like if this is not a sign to use the volume profiles, if you've been tuning into the live streams recently, you know what we've been looking at here on Solana, and we are seeing it play out almost perfectly. So there you go. It's a free tool on TradingView. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Can we buy them? Shout out to B-Rad Crypto. I hate to disappoint you, but no, you cannot buy them. You can only get them for free. Shout out to you, bro. I don't know. B-Rad, are you going to be at the conference? You might just be trying to see if you could buy one like online. We are going to have the merch back up very soon, guys. We think Mrs. Candles, if she's willing to take on the challenge, she may be the chief of merch of Frankie Candles, and we're going to get everything back on the site so you guys can pick it up. Right now, we only have the hats in like a million different colors. So if you want the hats, they are on the website. The shirts and stuff will be back on. Yo, shout out to Red Pill America says, get on your wife's phone and smash that like button. Shout out to Red. I appreciate you, brother. But let's go ahead and continue on here. Live stream Bitcoin conference. We were thinking about doing some kind of like a IRL stream, just like, what's up, guys? We're going to go to the Bitcoin conference, and we're just going to be live the whole time. We may do something like that. I will be doing market updates, and like I will try to do this live stream as best as I can. I don't know what our schedule is going to look like, so I can't. It might be a little bit up in the air. But, yeah, we are looking to potentially do some kind of like a fun live stream, or at least vlog it for you guys so you can kind of see what goes on. Let's see. Shout out to Retro Mike said, I'll swipe a shirt for you, B-Rad. Let's go. Trump will be there, which is interesting. That is going to be, that'll be interesting. Secret Service at the Nashville Bitcoin Conference, very interesting. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here, guys. So for Solana, I'll be honest, like let's come out, 4-hour VWAP coming back up here. Let's check the lower time frames. I would be honest, right? You want to look at this local profile, right? This local profile is, again, sitting between about 164, I'll call it 164.30 all the way up to 173. If we come down, this is your key level of support, right? And I can get rid of this fib. Whoops. Bada boom. And I will make this, get rid of this purple box. I'm actually going to pull a fib here as well, right? So what I would be looking at here is if you do come back down, key level of support, probably going to be that value area low 786, right? So if we do come down, Golden Pocket's pretty close to that as well. It's also pretty close to the POC. Kind of annoying. It's kind of a big range. But I would be looking at this volume profile. We get stuck under this value area high. Where's that next place for price to go? We all know where that next place to go is. It's going to be likely that POC and then the value area low, which is going to be your key support. Lose that 786 and lose these lows, you may be on your way back down to the macro value area low. But locally, these are the levels I would be looking at. Key to get above this weekly naked point of control at $177 in order to get the bigger move up to the daily naked point of control value area high. Let's see here. 12 and 16-hour money flow, pretty thick in the green. That doesn't look too bad. Red dot is printing, right? So not impossible to cool off a little bit more. But if you do, now you have those key levels. All right, let's see. Okay. Yo, shout out to Blind Wanderer said, live stream Crypto Face. I'm intrigued to see who's behind that sexy voice. Shout out to Blind Wanderer. I would never, ever film him without him knowing. I don't know if he wants that out there, so I wouldn't do that, but if he wanted to, I would. But yeah, I will tell you this. Crypto Face is like one of the coolest people you'll ever meet. He's also low-key one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. He's hilarious. But shout out to, and also one of the best traders, if not the best I've ever seen. So shout out to Crypto Face. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on to our next altcoin, which is going to be Link, or Link, as some people like to call it. I actually don't think anyone calls it that. But let's go ahead and check it out. I'm actually going to pull. Okay, so here we are. Get rid of that fib. All right, so, well, here we are. So Link did wind up. When was this? This was a while ago. Okay, that was a big dump. This, it's already passed. I'm not even going to break that down. But here we are. So to be quite honest, not really much has changed here on Link since the last time we looked at it. So, locally, if we pull up the 4-hour here, locally we are simply dealing with two volume profiles, right? We're kind of in a pinch here. You have this local volume profile down below. If you get a bigger move down, this is definitely the zone I would be looking at for context and support. POC, value area low. So this is coming in between about 1322 all the way down to about 1236. So if we do get a bigger dump, this is the zone I am looking at. And then if we continue up, we tried to get above this POC a couple of times and just could not do it. But, if we flip that value area low at about 1398, we could get a move up to that POC, flip that POC, look for a move up to the value area high. So, yeah, I'll be honest, there's really not much to update here. Forever green dot looking to print. POC is your key level of resistance right now because, this is kind of what's been giving us all that trouble, right? Can't get above that POC. Flip that. Then we could finally see a higher price on Link at about 1589. And then, will we respect that range? I would think so, right? Probably going to respect that range at least just a little bit. And then if you get that bigger breakout, really the big level to get above for Link. Doorway to higher prices is that macro value area low at 1695. So, this is likely going to be noisy, right? But if you get really what you want to kind of get like some new info on Link is you want to flip that value area low at 1695 because that is your doorway to much higher prices, targeting that daily naked point of control that we rejected in the past, and then finally, hopefully, making it up to that POC value area high. Obviously, this is pretty far away, but other than that, these are the two ranges that I am looking at, right? Get back in here, probably going to respect it. Let me pull up a... let me just pull up a clean Link chart real quick. Bada boom. Okay, let me see something real quick. Okay. Bada boom. Pull up the 4 hour. Yeah, I mean, you could also technically look at the whole thing as a range, right? It's not as pretty as I would like. Let's pull it from here, maybe. Yeah, something like this, right? This could be kind of another context to look at Lincoln, right? We don't have the macro volume profile on this chart at all, but if we look at this, right? Whoops. Yeah, value area low sitting here. This might be a little bit simpler for people to kind of digest. Value area low coming in at 1271, POC coming in at 1424, and then your value area high coming in at 1733. So yeah, get above this POC, then you could look for that move up to $17.33. At that point, you're above that 16. Yeah, to be honest, this is kind of how things work out, right? You got to break through this value area low at almost 17 cents, and if you look at it in this context, right? It's basically that value area high, right? So this would be like looking at it as a breakout, but in the other context, right, you're just looking to get, above that value area low to get that bigger move up. But this is kind of a nice little clean kind of context to look at this in, right? So key level of support sitting here at about 1270. If you hold above that, we could potentially look to flip that PLC and come up to 17 cents. And then once we get up here, we could potentially look for that bigger move up as we will be getting accepted into that larger range up here. Potentially, I mean, the high of this range winds up leading you all the way up to about $31 at that value area high. Now, I'm not calling for that like tomorrow, the next day, or even next week, but, that is going to be the key level to be looking at in my own personal opinion. And then locally, if you're looking for scalps, this is a no trade zone for me, to be quite honest. Unless I were looking for a long, right, which I wouldn't be just because it doesn't really look like a saucy setup. But if you have these bull divs here, VWAP coming down, so I think you could come down again. But unless I was looking to long this to get back into the value area low, go to the POC value area high, unless I was looking to long that like something like this, right, this would kind of be a no trade zone. I would rather get within one of these areas of balance, the lower range or the upper range, before I started looking for trades. So there you go. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to Keith Rowley saying taking a shot for POC mentions. Shout out to Keith. I mean, hey, you're a free man. You can do whatever you want. Shout out to the POC. Let's go. Shout out to Keith. All right, let's go ahead and continue on here. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, let's go ahead and check out our next altcoin, which is going to be AVAX, or AVOX, as some people like to call it. Let's go ahead and check it out. Let's see. Is this our... Okay, so yes, this is the context that I would be looking at AVAX in, to be quite honest with you, right? So you have your upper range, right, your upper value here between 45.93 and 31.11. You are getting a little rejection from that value area low. Not necessarily the worst thing in the world, but let me go ahead and mark these out. Value area high, POC. Value area low. So yeah, I mean, you have a little work to do here. What you would want is a flip of that value area low to get a move up to that POC. That would be your next kind of step here. However, let's pull this from the low to the high here. Let's pull it from this impulse. So some levels I would be looking at here for a potential higher low would be this confluence right here. Golden pocket 786, value area high confluence. This does look nice. So yeah, not saying just FOMO long this randomly, right? You have to have an entry trigger. You have to have money flow on your side. You have to have a lot of things that line up. But this would definitely be a level of support I would be looking at. Let me go ahead. I can't believe Mrs. Candles popped in today. That's kind of wild. She's just spying on me. I wonder how many times. I wonder how often she lurks. I need you guys to be vigilant here. If Mrs. Candles ever comes in and we're talking about, I don't know what we talk about, but talk about some secret stuff here that Mrs. Candles not supposed to know about. Got to be vigilant. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. All right, let's see. Let's see. ETH creeping up. ETH creeping up. Let's check it real quick. Okay, ETH creeping. ETH creeping. Very slightly, but creeping. Oh, God, Bitcoin just battling here. Come on, Bitcoin. Like, just let that scout play out. Come on. Give me something here. Give me something. Give me this little like 30-second head and shoulders play out. Come on. Give me 66.6. Give me 66.6. Is that a POC? No, it's not. All right, so let's see here. We'll see if this can creep up. This long has been like up a little bit, down a little bit, basically at break even all day. So I'm just dying for this thing to do something. But let's go ahead and check out that ETH AVAX. Okay, so definitely going to be a key level to look at. This is sitting between about 29.14 and 27.98. That's kind of level number one. Let me see here. Check out. Yeah, I like this too. Anchor VWAP coming up in there as well when pulled from this low. So if we do come down, that could be some nice confluence there. And then once you get below that value area, value area high, or more importantly, the 786 at 27.97, we could look for these lower volume profile levels to come in, right? So like once you get below that 786 and can't get back above, I would expect to get accepted into this range, potentially respect this range for a little bit. If we dip back down, you have this other little support zone down here. But for now, these are the local levels I'd be looking at for AVAX. And if we take a look at the 12 and 16 hour, very, very similar setup here with a fresh money flow crossover. Daily red dot is looking to print, so I don't think it's impossible to come back down into this range, but these are definitely the key levels I would be looking at for a bounce. So there you go. And then let me just real quick pull up the VPVR. And then, yeah, I mean, this is still your very key level of support. You do not want to lose this level just because you do have a pretty significant fall off in volume once you lose this level, at least down to about 1850, potentially even down to about 1727. So you do see you have that little volume gap. So you really want to hold above this blue box, in my opinion, which is coming in at about $20. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Frankie Candles, who's really just Tony D in disguise. Says, trade with the Mafia on Femex. I would concur. Also, guys, shout out to Femex. If you are looking for a place to practice trading risk-free, Femex, in my opinion, has like the best paper trading setup. They basically give you a bunch of fake money, and it's basically like a one-to-one simulation of the actual exchange with fake money. So if you're learning how to trade, highly recommend Femex's paper trading. I'll be honest, I don't really know another exchange that does it, or at least as well. You could also do it on TradingView. We have some videos on the channel about that. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to The Infinity says, bro, why don't you pull the volume profile to the end? So the reason I don't have these pulled to the end is because I have these marking out previous areas of balance, right? So for example, if I were to grab this profile here and extend this all the way to the right, here's the thing. It is not wrong to look at your volume profiles like this. I want to be very clear. If you have it pulled to your current price action, like that is not wrong at all. There's kind of no wrong way to use the volume profile because the levels are populated based off volume, right? So it's not just like random lines on a chart. I talk about this pretty often, right? So like if I were to pull, say, let's go back to let's just pull up a random chart here. I need to find a clean chart. What don't we look at here? Let's look at Pepe, right? I don't oftentimes look at Pepe, and I could just clear these drawings, right? If I were to pull a volume profile, for example, just from this bottom all the way to here, typically I pull them on sideways ranges, right? But if you just pull it like this, these levels are still going to likely be respected, and they are still important, right? Because it's pulling these levels based off the volume that was traded, right? So, and then you come down here, it's like, oh, there's a POC here. This is likely going to be, or not likely, this is, very likely to be respected because it's based off volume, right? It's not just like you're just like drawing random lines and hoping that it bounces. So there is no real wrong way, in my opinion, to use the volume profile. However, the way I use the volume profile is to find previous areas of balance, right? So I like to look at this as a sideways range, and then once you break that range, I consider that imbalance, and then if price comes back up, it's likely going to seek that previous area of balance. Same thing down here, right? I pull it on that sideways price action, right? Where we have found balance in the market, right? Where buyers and sellers agree upon a price range. And then if we ever do come back down there, that range is likely to be respected. Now, shout out to, I forget, The Infinity. I don't know how long you've been watching the channel, but if you're new, we have some videos on the channel talking about why I do this, right? We were able to predict some really nice moves on Bitcoin based off of previous volume profiles, like this one right here, which was the bull market range. As we wound up coming back up to this, and I always use this example because it's very, very clear. If you look at this, right, I was looking at this previous volume profile, and we were able to predict the big explosion here, basically based off this volume profile. Because what can we say here? Well, we found balance inside this range, right? And then we had imbalance to the downside. And as price creeps up, not only is price going to seek out this area of balance or this previous area of value, but we know once you get to this value area low, you're expecting this to be resistance, right? Until you can get above it. And then once you get above it and hold it as support, the next likely place for price to go is that POC, right? And what happened? You got the big leg up, and then you had that ETF approval right into the POC where you're expecting resistance, and you get the dump, right? Show me the charts. I'll tell you the news every single time. But this was all based off of a previous value area that was cut right here. Now, this doesn't mean that if you pull this to your current price action that this is wrong. Right? This is not wrong, right? These levels are likely to be respected as well. But this is just the way I like to do it. I found much success doing this, and it's pretty wild. So shout out. It was a great question. Shout out to The Infinity. Great question, bro. All right, let's go ahead and continue on here. Let's see. Shout out to Zach. Zach, thank you for that super chat, bro. I appreciate you. He says, can you check Ethereum Classic? Yeah, we can check Ethereum Classic. I will look at it right after we check out our next altcoin, which is going to be SUI. Or SUI, not SUIP, SUI. Let's go ahead and check this thing out. Here we go. This is all super old TA. What is this? Is this a box? Oh, it's a box. Okay, so let me see if I have any. Aha, here we are. So here's another perfect example. Perfect example. Previous range, right? This is simply just a previous area of balance. Buyers and sellers have agreed that when you're above this level, it's expensive, and when you're below this level, it's cheap. This creates value. That's where you pull your full fixed range volume profile, and then we don't always have to pay attention to it, but if price ever revisit this level, we can expect these to potentially get respected. And then when we come back into that level, you guys can see price got a big move down. We broke back into this area, bounced from the low, came above the high. Once you lost the high, you went back to the POC, back to the value area low, then you lost it again, and then on the way up, where are you expecting price to gravitate to? Well, go back into bar replay mode, right? Like, as you're looking at this, you're saying, hey, if this push to the upside continues, we can expect price to go hunt out that previous area of value. If you hold the value area low, you could look for it to go to the POC and the value area high. And then maybe this is very similar to what we just looked at for a lot of stuff. Maybe we range around there a little bit. And then obviously we know what happens here because we're in bar replay mode. But you can see price creeps up. Get rid of these lines. Price winds up coming back up just so you guys kind of see. And look at that. Flip that value area low to support, right? I want you guys to take note. Flip that value area low to support. Where are you looking to go? To the POC and the value area high. You deviate from that value area high. Where are you looking to go? Back to the POC and the value area low. Bounce off the low, you're looking to go back to the high. And you can see how this area of balance is now respected, even though even though this range is literally pulled from all the way back here. Look at all this stuff that happened. And you might be looking at this being like, why are you even looking at that range, right? Well, it's because if you do wind up coming back down there, it is likely to get respected, right? So there you go. Like, beautiful example of why we do that. I mean, honestly, we could potentially expect this to get continuously respected, right? Expect it to potentially get continuously respected. Anyway, so let's take a look here. Take a look at the daily real quick. Yeah, daily red dot, I will say, could potentially bring you a little bit lower here. It's very similar to everything else. It is so similar to everything else. I mean, if you lose this range low, you could look down to the full golden pocket 786 retracement, where if we go down to a low enough time frame, we could pull another area of balance that we were looking at, kind of like at Bitcoin, value area high in confluence with that golden pocket. So here are the key levels I would be looking at for SUI, or SIP, as some people say. Bada boom, bada bing. And I don't know if I would even consider that a zone, but you have the 786 and value area low just beneath that. But you do have some nice confluence here. Let's pull up some naked points of controls. See if we got a daily down there. And we do. We do. It's perfect. It's perfect. Oh, my God. It's so beautiful. Look at this. Daily NPOC and beautiful confluence with that golden pocket value area high. So you do definitely have confluence down here. Let's check the weekly. We don't have a weekly down there, do we? Okay. Would have gotten real excited there. Would have gotten real excited. But there you go. That is kind of what I would be looking at here. If you do get a move down, that's kind of your next key level. Bada boom. Whoops. Bada bing. Bada boom. Bada bing. And we'll mark out that value area low and the value area high and the POC. Actually, I'll take the POC away because you have the 786, and I want that to be visible. So there you go. Right? Now, what can we expect here? Now, this is not guaranteeing that we're going to come down here, right? But if we were to get in balance and get a move back down, where's price going to hunt out? Well, it's probably going to hunt out that previous area of balance. But Frankie, what about that sideways range right here? Could we respect that? Absolutely we can. But it's always a game of like context, right? And time frames. Like you could break this down until you're blue in the face and your chart looks like this, right? You do not want your chart to look like this. You're not going to have any idea where you're looking for your trades, right? Like this is not what you want. So that's kind of why I'm skipping that because it's a little bit less significant, right? This is the more significant range, but you can definitely be looking at this as a potential support zone, right? Or a potential little mini range. But again, if we get a bigger move down, where's price? If we don't stick that level, where's price going to gravitate to? It's going to go hunt that area of balance, maybe even come to the 786 before moving back up. But that's what I'd be looking at here for SUI. And then if we do go ahead and pull up Market Cipher real quick. Yeah, money flow coming out on the 3-hour and the 4-hour here, so not impossible to be looking down there, to be honest. So those are the levels I'd be looking at on SUI. Let's see. Bada boom. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Says Billy Goat Tails at 9 p.m. Wait, Piano Matty B is on Billy Goat Tails tonight. Shout out to Crypto Billy, guys. Don't forget to check out Crypto Billy's Twitter space, Billy Goat Tails, which apparently featuring Piano Matty B tonight at 9 p.m. Check it out. Okay, let's continue on here. We got SUI, and then someone asked for ETH Classic. Let's check out Ethereum Classic real quick, and then I will also do some VeChain TA. How about that? Okay, so Ethereum Classic, let's take a look. Pull up some naked points of controls. Take a look at the monthly. Bada boom. All right, so you got a monthly here. So it's like almost tapped. So there's a monthly MPOC. You got another one right hither. Bada boom. Whoops. Oh, whoops. Bada boom. Okay, so those are your monthlies. I'll take this weekly. Take that. And we'll take that. And I'll take this too. Okay. And then let's check the dailies. Let's see here. Oh, God, you got a lot of dailies here. Hang on one sec. Okay. So you have a double daily here. Change that to day. 2 daily naked points of controls here. 2 down here. Come on. There we go. And then you have another one up here. And another one up here. This is a pretty confluent zone. Okay. So let's see here. I'm actually going to separate these real quick. Let me put these in a folder. WMPOC. Boom. Hide those. You got a daily. Boom. DMPOCs. Hide that. Hide this. And then we have the monthly MPOCs. And there we go. A little speed TA there for you guys. All right, so let's go ahead and check this out. So let's see. A little bit of a wonked out chart here. Not going to lie, guys. Not going to lie. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's take a look at the daily. So I probably would be... Let me check out some of these volume profiles. Yeah, it's kind of wonky. I'm not going to lie. I'd probably be looking at this as your volume profile. It's a little wonky. It's not the best range, in my own personal opinion. Just kind of organize this a little bit. So that would be volume profile number 1. And then, yeah, these are kind of just right on top of each other, if I'm being honest. Yeah, those are just... So, yeah, I would probably be looking at this, to be quite honest with you. Let me pull a fib here real quick. From the high to the low. This would be key resistance. Bada boom. Okay, so you had a 786 test here. That's actually... Let me just see something real quick. Yeah, so you can even see here, right? This previous area of balance was indeed respected. You can see you bounce off the high, back down, POC, value area low, back to the high, breakout. Somewhat of an inverted head and shoulders here. Again, not a huge pattern guy. But if you could get a push up here, you're looking to flip this level here at 2340. To support in order to get a move up to 27 and then hopefully up to about $32 if you're able to get this to continue up. So that would be the key levels to the upside. Let's go ahead and check out the monthly naked points of controls. Okay, let's check the weeklies. Okay, and let's check the dailies. Okay, yeah, so POC is going to be pretty important level there. Yeah, so these are the levels I would be looking at. And if, yeah, kind of very similar, right? And then your support level to the downside, like your dire, like worst case scenario, like last resort, in my opinion, would be sitting right here between 2098 and 1996, where you have the 2 daily naked points of controls, and then your 786 golden pocket retracement. So if you get a bigger move down here, could look for a bounce there. And yeah, your daily red dot is looking to print or your daily is looking to print a red dot. So if you do get a move, not impossible to get a move down to these levels. But these are the key levels I would be looking at. Feel free to screenshot those. Yeah, feel free to screenshot those and keep them on your chart. So there you go. There is Ethereum Classic. Shout out to Bullish Bradley dropping those Bruce buffers. It's time! Shout out to Bullish Bradley. Let's go. Bullish on Bruce Buffer. That is for sure. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to Dr. Crimson's girlfriend said, "Dang, who's a girl got to poke with a stick to get a high here?" Shout out to Dr. Crimson's girlfriend. Welcome in. Shout out to you. I don't know if that was, I don't know if you're talking about me or people in chat. Shout out to Dr. Crimson's girlfriend. Not gonna lie. Shout out to Dr. Crimson's girlfriend. The profile picture change is huge. I'll never forget. Dave Digital changed his profile picture, and I feel like I couldn't see him. He was like invisible. It's like I'm so used to seeing certain pictures, so that's probably why I wasn't able to see you. If you were talking about me. Let's go. Shout out to Dr. Crimson's girlfriend. All right, let's continue on here. Let's go ahead and check out VeChain real quick. Or VET. Shout out to all the vets there, military vets and veterinarians. Very important things. Let's go ahead and check it out here. Okay, so I mean, there's a reason why we look at these levels, right? Value area high, POC. Let me see here. Okay, so just off the bat, 2-day red dot printing, right? So could be continuous. You're a little bit more of an ebb to the downside before continuation up. Taking a look at the 12 and 16 hour, kind of rolling back over there. But I will say, you could easily fake back into the green here, so it's not really horrible looking in my opinion. The 5-hour money flow, 6-hour money flow, 8-hour money flow crossing over into the red. Yeah, so I would potentially be looking for a bounce here, right? But not necessarily a sustained bounce. I would potentially look for, just some kind of turbulence, potentially another move back down into this range. If you lose this value area higher, this blue box in general with this weekly naked point of control, and you cannot get back above, I would look for a move to this POC and potentially lower if you can't hold that. So you broke down, tested the POC, got the breakout. You would really want to hold this blue box for a continuation up, in my own personal opinion. Last line of defense here at about 0.02321 POC. You want to hold that as well. But again, really ideally, I'd like to hold this. Take a look at the daily. Red dot confirmed. I really don't like this medium money flow. It's medium time frame money flow, to be quite honest. But yeah, I don't think it's impossible to get a local bounce here. You do have some bullish divergences here on the 1 hour, right? Lower lows on your price action, higher lows on your momentum waves could give you a bounce, but let's pull up you're just kind of in between kind of value areas, right? Could keep an eye here. Just trying to find the next areas of balance that we're likely to get gravitated towards. Okay, so we got rejected from that value area low. Yeah, I don't think it's impossible to bounce here, but it's not something I would really long, because I would expect it to be lackluster in my own personal opinion. But if you do get a move up, you're looking to get back in here, right? If you come down, you're looking to hold this blue box, right? So key support, definitely going to be about 0.02684, right? You want to hold that blue box. Key level of resistance, 0.03412, right? So I would screenshot these levels, maybe come back into this area of balance, kind of similar to what we were looking at before. Where are we likely to go? You got the resistance at the value area low, but if you can get back in here, you could potentially continue to respect this. And then in the grand scheme of things, really pull up the daily, right? In the grand scheme of things, to be quite honest, right? Macro value area all the way up here. Like, this is where the fun starts, right? So we're kind of just bing-bonging around here locally. Other than that, not really too much to update here. This is a no-trade zone for me, quite honestly. I'd rather come back up into one of these areas of balance. So there you go. There is VeChain. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Said, just a reminder to flat smack that like button for Frankie. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Smash it for Billy while you're at it. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Shout out to Dr. Crimson's girlfriend said we're almost at 350. Let's get 550. If we can get 550 before the end of the stream, which is going to be very, very soon, I'll give away $300 in XRP for 550 likes on tonight's live stream. But with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. We got to smash that like button really quick. But yeah, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream, guys. Shout out to Wick589 said, sorry about that, Billy. I was a million miles on X trying to find Billy Goat Tails. Shout out to Wick. But with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. We have to see, as Bitcoin is rejecting that 786 point of control. Again, I am in that scalp long, but I will be looking, or I would prefer a tap of those lower levels that we have to the downside, just to kind of refresh those levels. Finally, Bitcoin's starting to get a little bit of a push. Not even. It's still kind of in the same spot. But I really would like to see a tap of those lower levels. No guarantees that we get it, but between about 65 all the way down to about 64,500, I would rather see a move down to there for any bigger long positions. But until then, just scalping those smaller moves, guys. Hopefully, we don't see that massive dump. Hopefully, we just kind of hold that local value area low or the macro value area low to continue up within the range that we're trading in right now. But we'll see when that 2-day red dot prints and what it gives us when it does wind up popping up. But with all that being said, guys, I will see you I'm not sure. Like I said, the conference is going to change the live stream schedule this week. It is going to be a little bit iffy, but I'll keep you guys updated in the Discord, in the free Discord, in the paid Discord, on YouTube. I'll keep you guys all updated. We'll be doing market updates and stuff. It might just be a little bit off schedule, but I'll never, ever, ever, ever leave you guys in the dark. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys at some point tomorrow. Right here, maybe a different place, maybe a different time, but right here on the same YouTube channel, right here at maybe 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. Have a great week. If I mean, I will see you guys at some point, but I don't know. Have a great week. And if you guys see us at the conference, please, 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 for the love of God, come up and say hi. And maybe we'll even have some free Frankie Candles hats for you. So with all that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Space shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in mine, yeah.
You're just gonna fly you're gonna fly over the conference? Are you gonna come hang out? No, okay. So you're just gonna fly over? Are you gonna wave? Okay. So you're flying in from Italy, getting in the helicopter, flying over the conference, waving to us, and then you're back off to Greece. Who are you, Golden? Who are you? Tell me who you are. All right. I'll see you at the conference, bro, for like 30 seconds. Let us know when the chopper's above. All right, peace out, man. Oh, no. I hope that wasn't secret. Well, shout out to Golden. Golden said he's taking the helicopter to the conference. He can't hang out, but he just wanted to fly over in the helicopter and wave to us. Shout out to Golden. We'll see you there. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy. On the road, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy. On the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, hey, on a roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal